In this video, I'll be showing how to add the background that we can see in this level. So we have some clouds that move across the screen and also the nice blue background to that. So in our game, we're going to go to the level node up here, right click, add a child node and look for a parallax background. We're going to add this, so create. Then we're going to right click on this parallax background, add a child node and add a parallax layer. Next, on our parallax layer, we're going to right click, add child node, and we're going to give it a sprite 2D. Now, our sprite 2D is going to hold the actual image of our background. So I'm interested in my parallax background folder here, which I will make available in the description. And with my parallax backgrounds opened, I'm going to drag this first image, parallax 0, into the texture property of the sprite. Now I can see that the background has been added to my scene, so first of all I want to position it a bit better and also scale it up a little bit because at the moment it is not actually tall enough to fit in my scene, it's only covering a part of it. So what I'm going to do with my sprite 2D selected is I'm going to come over to the inspector on the right side here. I'm going to click on transform, I'm going to click on this unlock button and change the Y scale to 4. Now my background, as you can see, is covering the entire area of my level, and when we run the game it's looking a lot better having that nice blue sky background. Now let's think ahead here and do something kind of clever. Imagine if my world extended all the way over here. As you can see, the blue background stops at this point, but what if my world continued? So let me do that. So now my world extends past this blue boundary of my background. What happens if I run over? Of course the background stops and we no longer have a background for our level. So how can we fix this? Well, what we can do with this parallax layer is in the inspector in the motion section, we have this mirroring property. Now what this is going to let us do is it's going to let us mirror the image on the x-axis or the y-axis, but for us we want to mirror on the x so that this image is going to extend forever on our x-axis. Now to achieve this, we have to make this x value for mirroring the same as the resolution of the length of our image. So if I was to go into my sprite 2D and click on the image we added, we can see that this is 1440 by 360. So that means we want to make this mirroring x value 1440. And I'll press enter. Now you can see that that's extended, it's mirrored our background, but actually even though we can see that it seems to stop here, this is going to mirror and repeat forever. So to prove this point, I will again extend my level. Okay, my level is extended, so I'll now run along this and play, and we would expect that eventually we'll reach this point and there will be no more background. Let's try it. And as you can see, even though we reached the end of the level here, where there was no more blue background, it is indeed mirroring again. Okay, so now let's add some clouds to our background as well. So back in the inspector on the left, if we right click on our parallax layer, I'm going to actually duplicate this. Now I'll select the sprite 2D, and I will replace the current texture with parallax 01, which is some clouds. Now, because we duplicated, these clouds have a funny scale because earlier we changed inside the transform over here, we made the scale on the Y 4. So I'm going to reset this, I'll break this link again, and reset the value to 1. And there we go, now our clouds are looking a bit more normal. So if we run this, we can see the kind of issue right now I have is with the position of the clouds there, because if I'm near the edge of the map, I can actually see the bottom line of the clouds, which I don't like, so I'm going to reposition the clouds here. And for that, I'll just make sure I've got my sprite 2D selected, choose the move tool, and move these a bit lower, probably to about here, and we'll hit play. And yep, I would say that's better. I'll make that full screen, and I can't see the bottom of my cloud, so I'm quite happy with that for now. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll add a script to our clouds, so we'll do a bit of coding so that they actually move across the screen. So on the parallax layer 2 over here, because this is the one that has my clouds in them, I'm going to right click and attach script. Now I will select the scripts folder. And I'm going to change the file name to clouds. Hit create. Now we're going to have a very simple script in here. So I'm going to create a variable called cloud speed. And this will be the speed of our cloud. So we're going to move it -3, so -3, that's going to go left on the x-axis. Now I'll get rid of the ready function, and inside of the process function is where we're going to write our code. And we just need one line of code, which is self.motion_offset.x is going to be plus equal to the cloud's speed times delta. So if I run this, we can see the clouds are now moving. Cool. So let's put that on full screen. And here we go. This game is looking a lot nicer already. One final thing we could do here to enhance this even more is if I right click on my parallax layer 2 and I will duplicate it again. Now I will select my parallax layer 2, get the move tool, and if I bring it up a little bit and maybe move it along to the side, either to the left or to the right, I'll move it to the right a bit, then we can create an extra layer of clouds. And that's all we have to do. If I run that now, our clouds go a little bit higher and they look a little bit better as well. And that is it for adding our background.